Re-
Hello, everyone. It's actually, although it's day 18 recording, I'm actually doing that on the 19th. So I'm doing it on Saturday. So yesterday was a mega busy day, another Friday, a terrible day in terms of weather. Lots of people having a lot of trouble with weather. We were very fortunate, thank goodness, but it was very windy, very action-packed day, which was an enjoyable day. And I was going to do the card, and then it came to later on in the day, and I listened to the message from the card, which was about maintain balance, and it said, really do this tomorrow. And so today I'm recording two, and but two separate videos so that you can watch them at different times. This card is maintain balance. It's to do with the sacral chakra. The actual symbol is called Agra, and it's linked to Master Hilarion, and Master Hilarion was the first one that we received a card reading on day one called Give Thanks. And it's really about understanding where you are, understanding what you need to do, and understanding how to get balance, to enjoy things, but not to become too obsessive. I'll read for you some of the meanings. General reading. This card deals with our responses to sensual and sexual stimuli. It is important to be balanced so that you do not become addicted to pleasure or a self-denying martyr. Either responses indicates obsessiveness and a loss of control and a joy in our life. Sometimes we can either become obsessed with things or we can deny ourselves things, and either space is not good. You need to be at peace with the things that you need and that you want, and to understand where you are. Relationships. Look to achieve mutual respect and tolerance in your relationship. The sensual and sexual side of your personal life will only flourish long term if relationships are based on trust and equality. If you are looking for a long-term relationship, ensure that you share fundamental values. Even if you have a strong physical attraction, try to maintain some objectivity over your compatibility. So you can see this card would be quite an interesting one if the overall question was about a relationship that somebody was having and that came up. Health. Do not become obsessive over lifestyle choices in terms of diet or exercise. Choose a regime that can easily maintain. Otherwise, you may become discouraged and return to unhealthy practices. Be sensible. This is really, I think, we all have issues that we need to deal with. Almost, I spoke about them earlier in the readings, that there are times where we all come with, I like to call them shadows, or even a fingerprint on a beautiful glass. The glass is beautiful, except for that one fingerprint. And there's this idea that we all have these things that we're struggling with. And I think sometimes maintain the balance is to recognize the struggle and not to think, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to stop eating that, I'm going to go and exercise, I'm going to do this, do that, and make things happen in your head that never fully materialize. And then you have a bit of disappointment. So with career, try to keep your work life and personal life separate. This is sometimes difficult, but if you allow negativity from either area to affect each other adversely, then the quality of the whole of your life will be affected. So if your personal life is affecting work, or work life is making you a different person and affecting your family life, recognize that and do something about it. Maintain the balance. And then money represents energy that can be released or stored. Use it wisely to buy the physical objects or the experiences that you need in your life. However, it is important that you do not become addicted to these objects and experiences. Addiction is not about enjoyment, but about a craving that can never be satisfied. Before initiating change to your finances, be sure of your motivation and do not make decisions if you are addicted to the dangers of financial gambles. Now, this is like a little segue, but I've always loved cars and I've always enjoyed having a car. But I actually realized pretty soon after I had my first brand new car, that within about, say, 3 or 4 months, it had become second place. The novelty had worn off, and it was still a lovely car, and I still enjoyed driving. And now I realize the actual sensation that I like is actually about being independent, being able to drive places, etc. Although, having said that, there's a new feeling within me as well. Because of the lockdown, I'm now not driving as much as I used to. And actually, I'm quite fine with that. So I really enjoyed in the lockdown that I hardly drove anywhere. And so I can see that as I get older, I can imagine at some point that I probably won't need a car. I also think that a lot of cars now all look the same. So that sort of magical time when I was younger, where it was a Range Rover or a Ford Capri, or they were all different types of cars. Now most cars are the same, and they're all perfectly serviceable but interchangeable. And I guess this is that idea of what you need as opposed to what you desire, and making sure that you don't go overboard craving things, because it's the craving that actually is the fuel of it, not the actual requirement to have things. Spirituality, accept where you are on your spiritual journey. Do not try to force spiritual practices or put a time frame on stages that you wish to reach in your progress. Have patience, allow yourself time, and enjoy the journey and the sense of fulfillment you will feel. And I think that is the real message of that card. Have patience. Think about yourself as if you were your best friend. What would you say to yourself if, instead of thinking to yourself about things, you were advising your best friend on what they should do and where they should go, etc.? So nice card. In the chakra center system, spirals represent manifest potentiality, and angles represent reality. And so you can see this is a nice balance of those things. And I wish you all well, and I hope that you have fun maintaining the balance, enjoying where you are without wishing to be somewhere else. Okay, bye-bye.